Okay, hi guys, welcome. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. It was absolutely gorgeous here in beautiful Oregon. So it's literally 70 degrees. I didn't even have to wear a coat, which is awesome. So I went outside and I went on a walk with my family. It was really great. So tonight we have some very special guests on the team. The Diamond Ladies of Team Boss Babes are here to share with you their journey on why they got started as coaches and what it has looked like for them to become diamond coaches. So one of my favorite things about this business is there's no right way to do it. I definitely believe there is a wrong way to do it, but there is no one way to success. And that is very cool because everybody's going to approach this business differently and have different ideas, but that's what makes it unique and special to you. If you were to line up all top 10 coaches in the company, not one of them runs their business in the same way, and they all have massive, massive success. And that should excite you because maybe you've looked at others who are being successful and it's intimidated you because you feel like you can't do what they do. Well, one, we need to work on your personal development and work on your confidence. But number two, you don't need to be able to do what anybody else does because nobody's going to do it the way that you do it. Now, are there certain behaviors that you should be practicing to build a successful business? Yes, they're called the vital behaviors, right? But how you attack and approach your business is totally up to you. And again, there's no right way to build your business, however you want to do it. If you want to go door to door and talk to everyone in your community, you can do that. If you want to run your social media a certain way, you can do that. This is your business. You get to do it as you see fit. But I just wanted all of the incredible diamonds on the team to come on tonight and just share why they got started. I always think it's really special hearing people's stories because sometimes hearing stories is more effective and more inspiring than just hearing facts, right? So hearing someone's story, you might see themselves, you might see yourself in them, or you might see a person that you've been talking to that has a similar story that you can now go and share Hannah or Stephanie's or Kristen's or Kayla's or Emily's story with them and say, hey, your story reminded me of a woman on my team and she's absolutely crushing it in this business and I think you would too. So the stories that you share with people don't necessarily have to be your own experiences. Borrow the experiences of the other women on this team and in the company to help others see how they might have a successful go at being a coach on our team. Okay, so we are going to kick it off. I just want to start by, we're going to do a little round robin of why everybody got started. Is Emily on here? Yes, okay. We weren't sure if she was going to make it. So we're going to kick it off with Emily. So I'm just going to ask them and we'll just go round robin and just what made you become a coach and why and how did you get started with Beachbody? So Emily, you can take it away.
Okay. So I just had like a bunch of energized, so I'm a little shaky. So fair warning. And yeah. So if we go back to when I started Beachbody, okay, not signing under Cat. Okay. This is shady Emily doing weird shit, right? So, and I've never actually posted this. And when Danny was just saying, like, you know, your story is yours, I'm like, I've literally never made a post about this. Like, what is wrong with me? So Kat reached out in, oh God, Kat, how long was it? Probably 2014, I would guess. It's been a while. And she had reached out and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe, no, I don't know. I ended up using a coworker's login to do workouts before my wedding. And I was like posting stuff and like hashtag sweating for the wedding, right? Thought I was like, all right, maybe if somebody talks to me about it, then I'll think about signing with Kat, right? Like I wasn't serious about anything. And, you know, I was drinking probably a fifth of vodka a night. Like, why not? So I remember my husband and I were doing oh God, what were we doing? We were doing something with Sean T. I don't even remember what we were doing. And I was in my living room and I did a burpee. And I mean, I'm talking like, I don't know, I was trying to do the worm or something and I popped my clavicle out. And this is getting ready for my wedding, right? Popped my clavicle out, had to get it adjusted. And I never, like, I had this weird rib pain, right? That never really went away. So I finally went, and I kept getting adjusted in ribs and clavicle, shoulder, everything was getting worked on. And I was like, man, one night, and I was kind of doing one of these, and I found this massive lump in like my armpit that kind of came into my breast tissue. And I was like, oh, that's probably not good. And it's like, it never went away. It didn't matter what I did, it didn't move, it didn't hurt, except for like the damage that I had done. And I was thinking, you know, if this is something bad, I don't want to get it looked at before the wedding. Like, you know, I can't ruin, you know, a wedding or have extra stress. Like, I can't do that. So fast forward to the wedding, I was like, that's sort of in shape, I guess, you know. And it was shortly after that my cousin, who's one of my best friends, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she's like, everybody in the family, every woman, go get checked. And I hadn't even told my husband about this lump that I found. Fast forward, like, I don't know, a couple weeks, and I went and got tested. Everything was fine. Like, they did a lot of different testing. Everything ended up being fine, thank God. It was in that moment that I realized how much I had my own health on the back burner. And I was just putting on this facade of like, oh, I grill veggies and eat meat. And I, you know, so I must be healthy and because I move my body. No, it was complete bullshit. I mean, I was lying to myself most of all. So after I got married, I finally signed with Kat. I did 80-day obsession, which was my first program to actually complete. And I did it. I busted ass. Dee knows I was down working in Eugene and I would be like, hey, let's go. Like, I'll come over to your apartment and we'll do this workout. And she's like, God, I hate you. Okay, fine. And I would take my Yeti cooler with me and I would take my meal prepped meals and I would do everything. And I was like, okay, yeah. And I signed up as a coach for the discount, right? And I was doing Energize and Recover, and I wasn't really into Shakeology at the time. And completing a program and actually putting myself first and realizing that having that healthy outlet instead of being like, okay, well, I'm gonna go have wine or whatever. That was my real like pivoting point of my health journey and wanting to help others. And I was like, okay, I know a lot of people out there that are doing the exact same crap I'm doing, you know, like we're all lying to ourselves and, you know, they need help too. And maybe if they know me or, you know me somewhat, that I could help them also. And when I got pregnant, that's when I was like, okay, like balls to the wall. Now it's time to keep me healthy, grow this baby and be healthy. Show other women, like, if I can do this, like after working all day and come home and work out or do 2 workouts a day, like you can do it. You can find the time. You can eat healthy too. Yeah. Guess what? I have cravings. I've got Shakeology. It's going to help me not have those cravings. Like it all piled in. And I want to help women heal their bodies with nutrition and get moving again, get active again. Like you don't have to have a freaking 12-pack washboard abs. You don't have to be able to do, 5-minute plank. I don't give a shit about that. I want you to have improvements that make you feel better about yourself. And that is my main objective. Like I've told women before, they're like, well, I don't look like you. Thank God, girl. Like, we don't need another me. We need another you. That's what we need. So, I mean, that's really where I put my heart and soul with a lot of personal, like my accountability groups. I run, my accountability groups, and I just kind of revamped it. But one-on-one with customers and clients that I talk to daily, that's really where we're diving into them, is growing themselves so that way they're comfortable and happy again.
Yay, I love that. Uh, it's so funny. 2014, 15 Emily sounds so different than the Emily that we know. Okay, Hannah, why and how did you get started with Beachbody?
All right. So for me, I had creeped on Danny for a long time. I knew her through NCA staff, but we weren't really friends. Like we were there for 1 year, but I followed her and never liked a single thing because I didn't want her to know I was watching. But had kind of gotten introduced that way to Beachbody. And then I used to work at an advertising agency that had a gym in the basement. And they had T25 and Insanity DVDs. And I would always do my own thing. I'd work out every lunch, but it was more just to get away from my desk. I didn't really know what I was doing or didn't want to work any harder. So I'd like watch a show on Netflix while I elliptical kind of, and that was good enough for me. And then I had a coworker who for like a year, he'd always do some of those DVDs. He'd be like, Hannah, do it with me, do it with me. And he'd say that to everyone, but no one ever took him up on it. So I started doing them with him only when he did T25 because I did not want to do Insanity because I'd sit there watching it and I'd be like, I'm not doing that. But I was like, T25, I can do this. And I could, and it was fun. So anytime I felt like I wanted a good workout that day, I'd work out with him. He wasn't a coach or anything like that. He just liked doing these DVDs. And so that's how I got introduced to like the actual workout side, knowing, hey, I like these workouts. I didn't actually know they were associated with Beachbody. I didn't know any of that. Then I had another coworker who did the 21-day fix and she lost a lot of weight and she showed me her before and afters. And I was like, oh, dang, I never heard of the 21-day fix. It was like all these little things. But then the big one was I had a good friend who was in my small group. She became a coach. She was a mom of 2, I think, at the time. Now she's a mom of 4. And she became a coach more for the community. And so at this point, I'd already kind of been chatting with Danny. And I actually had bought a 3-day refresh from Danny just because a post that she made, I like randomly was like, ooh, I want one of those. Did it, hated it. My husband made fun of me for it. And I was like, okay, that's great. So I then got on Danny's radar. She started following up with me and I kept saying no. This other gal did a like 7-day, you have to buy the Shakeology sampler and do this thing. I ended up buying that from her. So I technically switched coaches. I don't know if Danny like know that, but switched coaches to her to do this, and didn't like Shakeology when I tried it with her because I didn't know how to make it. And then that was good for now. And then Danny kept following up month after month, and I kept saying no thanks, not yet. And then finally, I just realized I had no idea what I was waiting for anymore. I was just kind of waiting for nothing. And I did like a free ab challenge that Danny did, only to prove to myself that anything she does, I can do. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I got this. So it was kind of the culmination of all those things. And I think it's also really important to note, I then went back to Danny to sign up, even though I was closer with this other friend. I like was seeing this other friend weekly. I talked to this other friend about Beachbody, but I knew that this other friend, her goals were just kind of fluffy, I guess. Like she's like, yeah, I kind of want the community. Like I'll see what this becomes, but wasn't really into it. And I knew Danny had drive. And I was like, I don't know how far I'm going to take this. I don't even know if I'm going to like Shakeology, but if I like it and I want to do this, I want a coach who's going to take me somewhere and going to teach me how to do what she does. Cause she seems like she's like getting results. And this was 3 years ago. So she wasn't like hitting these like crazy success club numbers or anything, but I was seeing like just the way she was posting was different. I could tell she was starting to make an income. Like I could tell she was going somewhere, and she had big dreams, and she talked about those dreams. Like, so I was like, I want her. So eventually I was like, okay, tell me the price one more time. Let's do this. So I actually signed up as a coach from day one with the intention to work it. I know that's not as common these days. But from day one, I was posting 2 or 3 times a day because that's what you did back then. I never posted on social media before really, but I was like, all right, I'm just going to share what I'm doing, and I'm going to be super honest with everyone. If I hate it, I'm going to tell them. If I love it, they're going to know. And so right away, I had some friends do it with me because I texted some of my besties and was like, I don't know if this is any good, but do you guys want to do this with me? Had a few of them say yes. I was in a challenge group with Danny just for like half of one. And then after that, I started running my own. So I was like, I'm going to make this what I want. And yeah, from there, I realized I quickly fell in love with all of it. The community, Shakeology. My gut was transformed and all of that. And so I started inviting more people who weren't just my besties. And one of them was my coworker who like started a month after I became a coach, and she saw what I was doing. I invited her. She ended up losing 40 pounds, and everything kind of changed. And for her, like her life, her mindset, everything. And so that was a turning point for me, realizing, oh, I can do more than just like have fun with some friends. I can actually change lives. And so that started me on like my goals shifted. And I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I'd looked into other things like road and fields, but I was like, I'm not passionate about that at all. So I was like, ooh, I am passionate about people feeling good. Like maybe this is something that I can actually do. So then I just started running with it, and I guess that's how I got started.
Yes. Hannah left out that she ignored me for a lot of those follow-ups. She would respond like every 5 or so, and then she'd be like, not yet, but keep checking it in. I'm like, okie dokie.
I gave her some hope. I was like, yeah.
You literally signed up the last day of Team Cup, whatever year that was, 2017.
Yep.
And I was like, heck yeah, let's do this. Okay, Kayla, how did you get started and why?
Well, I did a lot of watching for a long time too. I had ordered from a friend, actually from Kayla Rodriguez. When she did it her first time around, I had ordered just to support and to try Shakeology, you know, whatever all the, you know, hype was about it. And it was disgusting. That was my initial thought. Same thing, did not know how to make it. I thought it was gross. She finally made it for me one time when I went over to her house, and I was like, what are you drinking? She goes, it's Shakeology. And I was like, no, it's not. This actually tastes good. So that was my first actual like kind of in with Beachbody, and it was more just to support a friend. I didn't do anything with the workouts. I legit found my DVDs going through boxes when we moved into our new house. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have dabbled in and out thinking, you know, I wanted to do something. And what I found kind of now is that I was a cycle person who did the all or nothing. So it was like, I'm all in, I'm going to take some before pictures, I'm going to work out for 3 days and be super sore, and then I'm done. And that was my mindset for so long. And my husband's military, so he's always been super fit. They had PT in the morning. He would work out sometimes after work. And I almost would give him like a guilt trip. Like, why don't you just come home? We've been home all day. Like, you need to come home. You already worked out this morning, you know, that sort of thing. And so I didn't get it. I didn't understand. Working out, I've always been small and petite. And it just never was one of those things that I felt like I needed to do, needed to do in terms of like, I don't know, being fit because I was small. Obviously my mindset has definitely changed. So fast forward a few years, I started watching Alex's stories, and she is as consistent can be. And I just kept watching how her body was changing, how her personality, how she shared things. And it was without, I would say, being so real, she had that attraction marketing down with just being real that it caught my attention. And I kept watching and I kept watching. And I would comment or say something here and there, but I never really like, I don't know, I guess I didn't really was like, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. But I finally ended up ordering. And my very first program that I completed was Country Heat. And I laugh about it now because I only completed it because it was fun. It wasn't like really working out. So it still was like the all or nothing, like I'm going to do it and I'm going to finish it. And I got the shirt and then I was done for another like year or so. So I've only been a coach, an actual like legit working coach for 5 months now. And part of what happened for me was I realized that there was a point, my youngest daughter is almost 5. Well, she's 4.5, so she'll be 5 this year. And for so long, the feeling that I was wanting was to be a strong mom, not just a mom. I didn't want to lose myself, but that's kind of where I was a homeschool mom. I was the military wife. I was like all these titles, but I had kind of lost myself. And one of the things that kept weighing on me was that I wanted to be strong and I wanted to feel that worth of something. And Beachbody kind of is what has really opened that door. I've been an entrepreneur. I've had multiple businesses. And this is probably the first one that seems so simple and easy to share and watch just kind of organically grow without it feeling like I have to put in a lot of effort to it. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into personally taking care of yourself and putting in the consistency and really showing up for yourself. But my story was one of those. I watched for a long time and then finally made that decision, and here we are.
Yay! And we're so glad you did, because you are a rock star, girlfriend. Okay, Kristen, why did you get started, and what did that look like?
Okay, can you guys all hear me? My internet's like been cutting in and out. Okay. So I used to teach. I was a teacher for 5 years. And while I was teaching, some of the other teachers were bringing in the DVDs of 21 Day Fix and bringing around their little sample Shakeology packs and like passing them all around. And then they would do workouts in the classroom after the school day. So I did a couple here and there, never gave it much thought whatsoever. It didn't even cross my mind that it was like something that people really were doing. Fast forward 3 years after that, in 2017, my cousin was watching Clayton while I was working, and I would get home and we'd work out together, and she brought over the T25 workouts. So we started doing those. And so on Instagram, I started following Shanti. And since I was following like fitness and stuff, Beachbody coaches started coming up on my feed. So I started following different people. And actually in July of 2017, another coach, she reached out to me and she said, "Hey, thanks so much for following my stories." I'm like, absolutely. I love following all these Beachbody coaches. It's so motivating. Ended up getting a 2-week free trial. Then I went and signed up for a challenge pack, and I did not want to be a part of the accountability group. I'm like, no, I'm good. And then a couple months in, I just completely fell off. I stopped doing the workouts. I wasn't ordering Shakeology, and she wasn't really reaching out to me too much. So I kind of just dabbled with workouts here and there. And then after I had my daughter, I did not want to go back to work full time. I was working at a residential treatment facility. I'm a mental health therapist. So I was working with people with mood disorders that were like severely suicidal, drug addictions, trauma. And it was the hardest 2 years of my life. I was so overwhelmed, and I just was like, I can't go back full time. Like, there's no possible way. I'm not paying someone else to watch my kids so I could go to a job that I was not happy with at all. So Maya was a coach under Hannah, and I was just kind of like throwing out the idea to Maya. I'm like, how cool would it be if we coached together? Or like, wouldn't that be so fun if we ran these challenge groups and things? And she was like, all right, if you do it, I'll do it. And so we got on a call with Hannah, and I was like, okay, tell me what it is to be a coach. Like, let me hear it. And so we chatted, and I signed up as a coach with the intention that I was not going back to work full time. I was going to jump into this and do it. And at the time, like, we didn't have extra money for me to spend on Shakeology or other products every month. And so we like cut back on Netflix, we cut back on all this other stuff because I was only going back to my job part-time and then doing Beachbody part-time. And so I was like, I'm going to make it work. I told myself, I said, I'll do it for a year, and come the year, I'll see where I'm at. So I had already actually bought the summit ticket to go this July before I was even a coach. Before I even talked to Hannah or Maya, I was like, I want to do this. And so I bought the ticket and said, I'll go to Summit next year, and then I'll make the decision of what I do with Beachbody moving forward. 9 months in, not going anywhere.
That is so awesome. I love that you bought your Summit ticket before you even signed up. That is amazing. Okay, Stephanie, how did you get started and why?
Sorry, I'm technology challenged. So I, like everyone else probably, was kind of following a couple Beachbody coaches. And then back after I had my son, I actually saw another coach's post, and I knew nothing about Beachbody. I didn't even know that's what Danny and this other coach did. I was like, oh, they're working out. I want to do whatever they're doing. And I had dropped an emoji on this other coach's post. She signed me up. I will say no one ever did reach out to me. I never got reached out to once for Beachbody. But I knew that I had to do something. I had gained 80 pounds with my child. So I signed up with her, and she's like, I'm going to send you a Target gift card for signing up, and I'm going to send you a gift in the mail and add you to this group. And then she like I never heard from her again. And she like never sent the gift. And I pretty much did nothing with it. I actually literally didn't even open my box that had like the stuff in it, like the guides and everything in it. And so I'm watching Danny and I'm like, I had always been motivated by her. And so I had reached out to her and I was like, I signed up with someone else. Can I go to you? And luckily, even though I was ordering Shakeology every month because I was too lazy to call and cancel it, I was only a customer. So she signed me up and she was like, you can literally spend less money on your Shakeology that you're getting every month. So I was like, okay, I'll be a coach. Had like thought, maybe I can help other people. I'm an Enneagram 2. And then just never really like explored that. My best friend passed away shortly after that. And so I never like followed up with Danny about it and she never bothered me about it. But I think that's good because I wasn't in a place at that time to coach. I hadn't gone through my journey with Beachbody. I hadn't committed to a program. I hadn't really explored Shakeology. I wasn't in the headspace to do it. And I'm an internal processor. And so she gave me the space to internally process while still showing up every single day so I could still watch her do that. And then when she missed the goal last year, I had already kind of started with Beachbody and like really actually started finding my success. She was upset and got on Instagram and you could like see how upset she was. And I felt so bad. And the two and me messaged her and I was like, how can I help? Would it help if I sign people up? And she's like, yeah, let's get on a call. And so I got on a call with her and like I got off the call and I'm like, okay, I wanted her to get elite. So I'm like, I'm going to help so she can get elite. And so I started like reaching out to people in my family and stuff and people were seeing my own results. Didn't get any traction for the first month that I worked the business in December. And then, my family and friends kind of started investing. And then when I shared my results, that's really where it took off. So that's kind of, I slowly needed to, even after I decided in November that I wanted to coach to help Danny, basically, that's just who I am. I need to do it for someone else, not myself. That's how I've always been. And so I still had to even just kind of process that I was doing that, take the time, feel the support from my friends and family. And then I realized I can do this and it fulfills me. So then I kind of just went running with it.
Yes, I absolutely love your story. Yeah, it was kind of crazy because Stephanie signed up and she was like, I really want to do this. She got started with the 2B Mindset Challenge Pack at that time because she already had Shakeology, and I'm pretty sure you already had bought, maybe not, I'm not sure, but I remember we did 2B Mindset. And then her friend passed away, obviously. I was not going to try to coerce her to work her coaching business, but in any means, right? But she stayed on as a coach. Like I just kept expecting a coach cancellation from her because obviously she wasn't doing well. But she stayed on as a coach and she would buy things here and there from my consignment group. And, and look what happened now. Here we are 2 years later and she's a diamond coach and she's absolutely crushing it and helping so many people. And she's had an incredible transformation. So it's just amazing. Just another reminder of like, when we're telling ourselves, like, I'm looking for business builders, like you're not looking for business builders. You're looking for incredible women that you want to do life with and you can teach them the business, right? Like nobody out there is like, I'm a network marketing guru, sign me up on your team, right? Like you're just looking for women that you want to be friends with and you'll teach them the rest of it, right? Or they'll learn it from our team. So I love those stories. Okay, so now I want to get into what made you decide that you wanted to go diamond and what did that road look like? Because it looks different for everyone, right? So, some get it fast, some get it in between, some take a long time. Doesn't really matter, right? It's your journey. But Emily, why don't you kick us off? Why did you decide you wanted to go diamond and what did that path look like to get there?
Oh, Jesus. It was a train wreck getting there. I went emerald. That was last year. And I just kind of sat there and I rolled. I was like, okay, well, I'm pregnant and now I have a baby, so I can't do anything. Like, it was just stupid. Like, I get in my own head. Like, I'll be like, and Danny will just nod and laugh at me. She's like, yeah, you'll do great. And then you're just bleh. It's like I do it all the time. I know I do it. But it was funny because I had all this stuff going on. Like, I had worked at the same company for 14 years. And when I got pregnant and was going on maternity leave, I was like, God, man, like, I don't want to go back. I'm pissed all the time. Hate it. I'm an angry little elf. And I went on leave and I was just like, man, like something's got to change, right? Something's got to give. And so I was working my business, like sending invites a couple times a week, like really working it. And I got the opportunity to go work for my parent company still as a project manager. But when I came back from maternity leave, and I had a more flexible schedule, and I was thinking like, okay, it's less stress. It'll be better for me. I can actually give into my business. And, I have pumping breaks, where I lock myself in. So I would sit there and I would bust out my invites when I was pumping, and I would sit there and I would type up every single day, my challenge group stuff and post it. Like I was just going crazy. And I was gaining some traction, and, my husband got a opportunity to go move to Florida. And if he got this job, I would also have the same opportunity. And it was when he's with the job offer that we didn't get, we're still in Oregon. Had he gotten it, it would have presented me the chance to, without even thinking about it, stay home, work from home, and work as a full-time Beachbody coach. And that's when I was like, oh shit, like I gotta hit the ground running with this. Like, if this goes, like I've gotta already be up there. And I was in Florida and he was in his interview for like 3 or 4 hours, and I sat down in the business room there and I was like, doing it today, sending out my invites. And I just went balls to the wall that one day, like worked harder than I ever have. And now I'm like, okay, well, I need to do that at least once a week and just put that same fire in. Like, I mean, definitely work it every day, but one day a week, if I could pony up and do that, like I'd be unstoppable. I know that. And I know that every person on this call could do that. Like, seeing that opportunity that I would have had to move to Florida, which now I just have to change my time frame of it, since I am working full time. It's still totally freaking doable. I can sit down on a Sunday or a Saturday, sit down for a couple hours. That was 3 to 4 hours. And I went freaking diamond because of it. Like, I mean, come on. Like, Dee, she's on here. She is pushing for diamond as well. And, she got on board and she went balls to the wall as well, signing up. And she's the one that, made me pop diamond. It was amazing. So yeah, I got all the other coaches that one day, but, knowing that Dee was somebody who could do it as well, and knowing she will do it, that's another huge part of being diamond, going diamond. Like, you're going to have your discount coaches and everything, but the people that are capable and deserving of more. And, people like Dee are those kind of people too. So just seeing that is huge in itself.
You left out the part when I messaged you and asked you who all those names were on your graphic, because you never had any successful points.
Oh yeah. I was running these accountability groups, right? And anybody who, wanted to do anything, like I would literally do the like, your name here, your name here, your name here. And then all of a sudden they'd be like, Stacy, Jennifer, Joe Schmo. Like, I was just listing names, and Dave's like, Who are these people? I wasn't selling shit. I would just be like, oh, you want to, oh, here, cool. You have a Fitbit and you want to do a Fitbit challenge with me? Cool. You're in. And I just had all these people in these groups not doing anything. Actually, Dee, she was doing Beachbody for a while. She was like me. She was using her sister's account. And she ended up doing some other stuff for a while. And she was in the group posting other stuff that wasn't Beachbody. Danny's like, Emily, what's happening over there? I'm like, I don't know. Guys, it's a crash course and everything will be okay, I promise.
I'm like, okay, how about you get them signed up with Beachbody and then put them on the graphic? That would be great.
Yeah, seriously. Until you see them in your back office, their name doesn't get to go on it. New rule.
But we got it figured out. And now she is a diamond.
We got me straightened out. It's okay.
Good luck. All right, Hannah, what did your road look like to diamond, and what made you decide to get there?
My road was nice and slow. So from the very beginning, I was very much in the course of like, I want this business to grow genuinely, authentically, whatever that looks like. I don't have any, like, really care how long this takes, because it matters more to me to build a business that I'm proud of, that I feel good about, than it is to hit these rings, get a bunch of people, whatever. And part of that is my husband was not supportive at all, of me. Of course, like he knew what I was doing, but he hated Beachbody, hated all MLMs, still kind of thinks of Beachbody as the man, still not the biggest fan, but we're working on it. We're getting there. And so part of that was me self-motivated, but part of it was also him. Like if I was spending too much time on my phone, he'd call me out. If I ever complained about like, oh, I don't want to send these invites, he'd be like, why? Well, don't invite people, you know, things like that, where I couldn't really like talk about this stuff. So he was always kind of my checks and balances of like, make sure you're being genuine, which is great. And so I just ended up at the start having a lot of discount coaches on my team. My team was fully made up of discount coaches, just because, I mean, I would talk about the business, but I mean, people wanted it for the discount, and that was great. So, you know, he was cool with, you know, signing up as a coach. And so I did that just because Danny said to, and I was like, I can see why this makes sense. So signed him up as a coach, had a bunch of other discount coaches. My one friend who lost the 40 pounds, she had signed up to be a discount coach from the beginning. And she ended up doing like one single post on Instagram, and got one gal to be a discount coach from that. And then I had another gal that I ended up putting underneath her. They were in the same like challenge group at the time, so she knew who she was, blah, blah. So I pretty much built myself to diamond, other than her signing that one friend that I went to lunch with them. Anyway, I built myself to diamond, but it was a very shaky diamond. I got another gal who came on, she built to emerald, and she was my first like runner, and I was so excited. It was really fun for a little bit to have someone to do things with, to bounce ideas off of. And she lived over in New York. I didn't know her. She found me on Instagram, and she had a different coach, but she liked me better, so she switched. And then after Summit last year, she came and along with one of my discount coaches, who's just one of my best friends. And then a week after Summit, she quit, because her husband was not supportive, and she didn't even want to touch. Like, she didn't know he wasn't supportive this whole time. And so as soon as he brought up like, I'm not comfortable, she's like, I'm quit, I'm out. And so my emerald quit. My friend got fired from her job. So instead of leaning into Beachbody, she just let her life go for a little bit. So all of a sudden I did not have any emeralds, even though I had my husband strong on one side and I had 2 emeralds on the other. They both went away. And so I was back to emerald for quite a while. But, well, actually quite a while is not that big, because as you guys heard, Kristen and Maya had this wonderful call with me, which was right around that same time. And then around a similar time, like Portia decided that like she wanted to be this discount coach. Oh, maybe she wants to do more. Candace, who's been doing Beachbody for like 7 years, a few months later, is like, oh, I can like do it for free because my husband's, you know, I can get that for free. Awesome. And then Kathleen. And so like all these people all of a sudden came out of the woodwork, and I was like, this is weird, but I like it. And especially having that back knowledge of how it felt to be doing this with someone else, I was like, ooh, I want to like do my best to breathe life into these people. And so that's kind of when I started actually building my own team page. I was like, I don't know if any of them are actually going to want to like post in here or do anything, but I started doing that, which I don't know if that helped, but I don't know. And then all of a sudden, like these women just started rising and started doing stuff. And I mean, like Maya, she was a discount coach under my husband for a long time, but she was doing Young Living. And so I was like, well, she has her own like MLM thing. She can't do Beachbody unless she gives that up. And I'm not going to ask her to do that. So it was actually a huge surprise to me when she's like, I have this friend who wants to do it with me. Can we get on a call? And so, yeah, I didn't like, Danny said, I didn't like find these amazing people. They all started in their own spot. They all started as discount coaches and they've all like risen. And now, I mean, now I've got 2 emeralds on one side, 2, almost 3 on another. And it's just like building. And I think right now for me, one of the big things, I was talking to Trisha about this the other day, because we were talking about her goals. And I was like, my goal is to be, who knows how many star diamond, like I'm going to be at least 5-star diamond, not for anything that necessarily does for me, but that means because it means I like breathed belief into people. And it means that I actually helped people change their lives. Like I am so stoked for all these women who are on the team right now and women who will continue to come actually have a changed life. And I know that's going to happen as they become coaches and as they help other people. And so heck yeah, like maybe I'll be a superstar diamond one day. I don't know. That would be great. Because that means I helped a ton of people make like legit impact. So, yep. I think that's all I wanted to say. But it's been a little of this. But there was something else I wanted to say. Along with like the being genuine, there have been many times along my journey that honestly I haven't followed the vital behaviors. And I know it's not like that I'm suggesting that or anything. Like Dan be like, fill out your tracker. And I'm like, I'm not even following a tracker right now, which I'm not necessarily suggesting. But the thing that I do want to say about that is I never took my foot off the gas to everyone else. So I always posted on my stories. I always posted on Instagram. Maybe I wasn't doing any invites. Maybe I wasn't doing anything behind the scenes. And yes, I saw it. Like I had many months, even last year, that were Success Club 0. And like, I didn't wonder why. I was like, I'm not doing the behaviors. Of course I'm not doing anything. But no one like watching me saw me step back. When I had a miscarriage, I didn't step back. When I was pregnant, I didn't step back. Like I never stepped back to all of them. And I shared what was going on in my life super authentically, as best as I could. And so I think that was a big thing, is even in the times of my life where I was like, I do not have the emotional energy, or I just don't want to invite people or do the things behind the scenes. Yes, my business suffered a little, but no one on the outside saw me take a step back. So then as soon as I was like, boom, I'm ready to go, they've been continuously watching. And so then it was easy to pick back up, because if you stop like posting and stop showing up, people are going to assume that you quit, that you like what you're doing doesn't work. And then you're starting like way back over. So even though I haven't been the most consistent, to them I was. So that was something else.
Yeah, super important that people drop rank all the time. In the month of April, I have been a 1-star, a 2-star, and a 3-star diamond. You drop rank all the time. You don't have to if you continue to keep moving forward, but it happens sometimes, and we can't let that stop you from continuing to move forward, because it just happens. And so, like I said, when I went diamond, I was like diamond, emerald, diamond, emerald. I never knew what it was going to be waking up, because I had no idea what the heck my back office meant or how to figure out that I would be dropping diamond. Like it took me a long time to figure it out. But once I drew that line in the sand, I've never dropped below diamond, and now I'll never drop below 1-star, because I'm the freaking diamond. So, right? Like once you draw that line in the sand, and you can decide when it's your time to do that. But as Trina says, like 1 foot in doesn't feel good. And that's why most people give up, because 1 foot in is frustrating, right? I was very frustrated going from diamond to emerald, diamond to emerald. It was super frustrating for me, right? But you have the ability to keep going and moving forward. Okay. Kayla, what was your journey like to diamond?
So mine was actually basically a flip of Hannah's, because as much as I want to be authentic and have things grow organically, I am such a goal-driven person. My actual journal that I write in every day says goals, 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 goals. I hit Success Club. My first month that I hit Success Club, I had no idea what Success Club was. Alex messaged me and said, congratulations. And I was like, what does that even mean? So first of all, you don't have to know everything. If you're a newbie, if you're only in for a couple months, if you've been in here for a year, you still don't have to know everything. So I was very motivated by that whole, you hit a goal and you didn't even know it because you were doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, cool. So what's next? And then I kind of started to learn, well, I typically, kind of going back to my all or nothing mindset, I used to want to know, like, how do I get way up here? How do I do that? And I was missing all the steps in between. And so that's where I found myself in previous companies that I worked with, finding that hesitation of wanting to push further because I didn't follow the steps to get there and what it meant to like build to that. So getting to Diamond, once it was really broken down, I was like, well, shoot, I have to do this first and then this and then, and just keep doing, and you'll get there. Well, like I said, it seemed really easy. And for me, I've been in for 5 months and it was pretty simple, pretty easy. I do have a really supportive family, some really good close friends. So that's looked really different for me in my business. I do have some discount coaches, but I do have some people that actually are wanting to do something. So it is fantastic. The free swag got me. Like, you get a free shirt for doing Success Club. Yes, I'm in. Oh, you get it for hitting, you know, this. Yes, I'm in. Danny says, you want Boss Babes gear? I'm like, yes, I'm in. So that was a big thing for me. I think once I hit Diamond, when I realized that I had hit Diamond, and I was telling Danny, I said, so what's next? Like, that's my thing. It's just what's next, what's next. Well, and I think I hesitate sometimes with sitting in that, like, yay, I'm excited. I, you know, hit this rank or have this title or whatever. It's never really the money necessarily, or, you know, like the fact that I helped this many people. It was really that title. So that's why I said that kind of flip of Hannah's, that now being at Diamond, I've now looked at it going, wow, I've helped a lot of people. Regardless of this Diamond title, what's next means you go help more people. You go do it again, regardless of what the next title is, because this feels really good. This feels really good because of what you build to get there. Yes, the free swag comes. Yes, you make more money. Yes, you make more friends. Like, there's so much that comes with it. So for me, it's that flip of that feeling. So I want the rest of my business to keep growing organically, to keep happening that way, and to keep sharing that way. But Diamond was more of that rank of like title for me. And it was just getting people where they needed to be. So for me, it was a very different mindset in terms of that kind of road. But now I think I'm probably sitting in the same seats as somebody who is wanting to hit Diamond, just in a different mindset now of like, how do I keep this as a rank or title with a substantial business of actually helping people and teaching others how to find hitting Diamond easily as well.
Yes, I love that. But I think from the very beginning, you've been super authentic in sharing, you know, like just like you shared with us that working out was never your thing, and you judged people that it was, right? Like, you're like, I literally don't get what you're talking about. But now you're obsessed with it because you feel good and you feel like you're setting that great example, which you are for your daughters. And like, those ripple effects is what people don't understand. It's like, people think we're like, yeah, you just got to work out and your life's perfect. And it's like, the reason why so much good comes is because when you feel good, you do good. And then good things keep happening to you. And it's just that ripple effect. So the more you can communicate that to the people who are watching you, the more likely they are to at least have a conversation with you. All right, Kristen, give us your story, sister.
All right. And again, I apologize if I cut in and out. I'm catching only every couple words you guys are saying. So I, like Hannah said, I built Diamond myself. So when I went Diamond, I had all my 4 coaches on each side. I had my husband Emerald on one side, my sister Emerald on the other. I put all the coaches under them. And It was a lot of work, but breaking it down, like Danny always says, going emerald again is what made it possible. So my first 4 months of coaching, I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm the worst at asking for help. And so finally in November, I think was the first time I joined Boss Babe's Facebook group, because I didn't have Facebook for the first couple months of coaching. I'm like, I don't like Facebook. I'm not doing it. I don't know anything about it. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm not getting anywhere. I never hit Success Club. I think I sold like 2 or 3 challenge packs. And so I joined Boss Babes. Danny did an Emerald again, or Go Emerald call, because in the first 4 months, I wasn't Emerald. I wasn't doing anything. So I watched that call. Within 2 days, I went Emerald, and that was the last 2 days or 3 days of November. So the end of November, I hit Emerald. And then I was like, okay, like I can do this. I can sign up coaches. So in December, I signed up a couple more coaches, hit Success Club 10 for the first month ever. And then the momentum has just built since then. So I would say, if you take anything away from what I say, is ask for help, lean in, and get support. Because as soon as I did that, everything changed. I was trying to do it all on my own for so long, and I had no idea what I was doing. So the beginning of January, I did a call with Danny, and she asked me, she goes, when do you want to hit diamond? And I was like, before we go to Summit in July. And she's like, no, that's not happening. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then less than 4 weeks later, I hit diamond. So I like held myself back for so long because I thought it was this big goal and this scary goal and this hard goal to hit, when in reality, when you break it down and you just do those vital behaviors every day, it's absolutely possible. The second thing that I would say, if you take anything away, is your mindset. There are so many days that I wake up and I was like, I don't want to invite today. I don't want to show up in my stories. I don't want to do a post. And I do it anyways, because I know how I'm all about the brain and how it's wired. And I know that once I start making excuses, it's just the snowball effect. And I'm just going to give into those, and I'm going to pull back, and I'm not going to find the success that I want. So personal development's a huge thing for me. And then just the things that I'm telling myself every single day.
Dang, we were doing so good. Kristen, we lost ya. Okay. Well, if you can come back, that will be awesome. If not, we'll move on to Steph. Okay. So we heard that Stephanie kind of just kicked things off in December. So here we are in April. So tell us what your road to diamond looked like and why you decided to do that.
Okay, so when I first talked to Danny after I'd reached out and wanted to help her, she said to be diamond. I didn't even know what it really meant, but I was like, well, I'm going to be diamond then, however that happens. Started kind of following along in the team page, and still didn't really know what diamond meant, but I knew that I wanted a Boss Babes zip up, which I still don't have, but I'm going to keep hitting Success Club 10 until I get one. But I was like, how do I do that? And so I started learning about Success Club, and then she started the diamond push. And I think like a couple things had to come to the surface for me to realize that, one, I really wanted it more than I thought I wanted it, and two, I could get it. So I have an accountability partner on the team, and her and I have always like had like kind of, we've always been friends off and on throughout our lives, and we have a little bit of like a competitiveness. And so I'm like, well, she wants it, I want it. And so we've really just like pushed each other this whole time. And then my husband and my mom have been so supportive. I know that's not like a common theme, but my husband saw how this totally changed my life. And he knows that I thrive on helping other people. And so he was like, what do we have to do? I have to coach? What? You need money? Here you go. What do I need to do? And my mom kind of did the same thing. Like, what do I do to do what you're doing? How do I help you succeed? Just how I wanted to with Danny. So having my own results and a really supportive system directly around me helped me to realize that I could help people. And I started like filling it. I'm like, oh, I can go emerald. I still wasn't quite convinced diamond was possible. And then I was vulnerable enough to share my results, and I started practicing the vital behaviors, showing up every single day, being in my story, sharing everything. I posted a picture and I was shaking when I posted it, before and after of my results from Morning Meltdown. I was so embarrassed by my before picture. I was 200 pounds and cellulite and postpartum, and I was in underwear and a bra because I never thought I would share it. But I just decided, like, people need to see this. Like, people need to see what's possible with one program. Like, that was just Morning Meltdown. That wasn't even my whole entire journey with Beachbody. So I just hit post and put my phone away for an hour so that I wouldn't delete it. And I got back on and I had like 8 messages in my inbox. And it was just really what shoved me forward, to realize that the more vulnerable you are, the more people attract to you, and it's in a genuine and authentic way, because you're not like, here, I'm going to sell stuff, I'm going to give you this back, I'm going to do any of that. They're like, she has what I want, and she was right. So, you know, a lot of people didn't come into this overweight. I actually think that was huge for me. I think that's a big part of my success, is how overweight and just terrible I was. I was in a terrible headspace. I was in the worst time of my life, and it not only changed my physical appearance, but transformed me, and people see that and they want it. And so I just shared that, and half the people on Facebook have seen me cry, because I'm not afraid anymore to talk about where I've been, because I'm happy about where I'm at now. And then I signed my first emerald, and she motivated me, and I'm like, people can go emerald super easy, you know, and I kind of just pushed forward and kept going. One big thing though that I want to touch on is that the team you join matters. And like, I knew it mattered, but I was also kind of like, well, I got to switch onto her team, so the team I joined didn't really matter, but the team I joined as a coach sure did matter. I was on a call last week, my first call that I got to like be included on for being a diamond. And I realized that some of the top coaches in this company, whereas they have really valuable things to offer, they are savage and they aren't willing to like take time with you. Like Danny, I'm sure Danny never imagined. I mean, I know she like believes in people, but I'm sure when I said I wanted to coach, she's probably like, yeah, okay, you know, like, but she sat on the call with me for over an hour and has multiple times since then. And so the fact that there's a team to lean into, a leader on the team who's willing to take the time to talk with you whenever you ask for it is huge. A coach on my team that helped me go diamond was on another number 1 coach, number 2 coach, top 10 coach in the company's team. She was not noticed. She quit. And now she's with me, and she's going to go to Disneyland with us in July. And she's on a team that takes the time to support her and talk with her. And I know that even if Danny's 15-star elite top 10, she's still going to take the time to talk to the little guys that are sponsored by coaches that are sponsored by her, that are, you know, 4 times, 5 times down, because everyone starts as a little guy. And like the support and the team is just what kind of brought it all together for me.
Woo! I think everybody needs a tissue after that one. Woo, you're amazing. Love you. Kristen, were you able to come back? I saw her come back. Did she disappear? Do you want to finish? Oh, does your audio not work?
Can you guys hear me? Maybe. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where I left off. I was just going to say the second thing I think is huge is mindset. And that's the thing that I hear from so many people, is that there's so much self-doubt and negative thoughts and everything. And so just personal development and being able to really hone in on that and like, you know, we all promote that when it comes to coaching, you take care of yourself first. And I think that's such a huge component of being able to keep moving forward and not only find success, but have other people come on that are going to have success on your team too.
Yes, I love that. Can all the diamonds, can you just say if you have a controlled / spouse account that you helped go emerald? Is that a yes?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it's super
Sign, if
important.
you have a spouse, sign their ass up now. Do not wait. I waited. Do it now.
If you have that option to have a controlled or a spouse account, I did not. I got diamond without a spouse account, without a controlled account. I also want to point out, I'll probably say this on every call until I die, there is one coach on our team left who helped make me a diamond. One. So my best advice to give to you is that you're always going to be growing and helping new people get started, because we aren't in control of what other people do. Some people are going to come on and they're literally going to quit within 24 hours. Some people are going to come on and they're going to have an amazing run, and then something's going to happen in their life and they're going to cancel. Or a pandemic's going to happen and this is what they have to cut out of their life, unfortunately, right? Like, we never know how long someone's going to stay on the team. So if you think that getting to diamond, it's like, woof, made it, I'm done, I'll just put my feet up and I'll just relax, you will not be diamond very long, right? So again, one person who helped me go diamond is still on our team 5 years later. I've been a diamond coach for almost 5 years now. I'm above diamond, but you get what I'm saying, right? So you are just always looking for more girls to join your gang, because why would you keep this incredible gift? Like, the fact that we had 38 women on the call tonight to listen to their friends, how they are having success in the business, like, that's really special. Because I remember very vividly the nights when I would get on and it would be me. And I would sit here for 15 minutes and wait and nobody would come. And I would give it the college 15-minute rule. Like, okay, I'll be here for 15 minutes, and then if the professor doesn't show up, I get to leave. I would give them 15 minutes and nobody would come. I remember that. And now to have a screen full of women who want to hear from other women or hear the lesson that I have for the evening, like, it's incredible what happens if you just keep moving forward. People are going to come, people are going to go, people are going to break your heart. Trina says it best. You have to have heart, but you also have to have armor, because you're going to get coach cancellations. You're going to get ignores. You're going to send share cards. You're going to get ghosted. You might even get a couple rude messages, right? It doesn't really matter because those people aren't on your bus anyways. So if you focus on what's not happening, or who's canceling, or who's not hitting Success Club, who's not rank advancing, who's going inactive, you'll never find the joy that this business is. But if you can focus on this feeling of being here with all these women, like, that's pretty special. And I so wish that we got to go to Summit so we could do all of this in person and squeeze each other, but we don't get that this year. But what I want more than anything is just for you guys to believe that you are diamond and beyond coaches, and to say that to yourselves every single day, so that in October or November or December, whatever we decide is the best and that the most people can go, we get to go to Disneyland and we get to do all those things and celebrate the hard work that we're putting in 2020. This is the weirdest year of my life, but it's also turning out to be the best year of my life. Okay? So you get to decide, is this the worst year of your life or the best year of your life? And you can use Beachbody and all the other amazing things in your life to make it so that this year goes exactly how you want to. So whatever you tell yourself is absolutely true. I know that we're an elite team with elite and premier coaches on it. I know that every single woman on the team can be a diamond and beyond coach if that's her goal. But don't hold yourself back, because it might be hard. And sometimes the road is harder for others. It might be harder for you than it is for the woman in the square next to you. But that doesn't matter, because what she does doesn't affect you. You're in your own lane, stay in your tunnel, just keep moving forward and just keep putting your message out there, whatever your message is. but I know that this team is amazing. I know that we all are deserving of the success and the things that we want in our life, and you get to define what success looks like for you. So figure out what that is. Let's get everybody Emerald again and Success Club by the end of the month. The metrics to get yourself to Diamond are not huge. I don't expect anyone to hit the Success Club numbers that I do or to bring in 10 coaches a month like I do. You could, but I don't expect that. But I do expect you to move forward. We don't want to sit in the same place. Okay? So I just want to say thank you so much to all the diamonds who shared tonight. This was just made my heart so happy. I'm so incredibly honored to be on a team with every single one of you. And I'm just so excited for the things that are going to happen for our team this year. I do have new team swag on the way. So she said she was shipping them out Friday. So hopefully we'll have them soon. It'll probably be a prize for May. But I'm so excited for our team and all the amazing things that we're going to accomplish this year. If you need help, please reach out to your upline or reach out to me. Don't struggle and don't think that you have to do it alone. Everyone on this team is here to help you. Okay, so if you're brand new and you don't know what the heck Success Club or Diamond is, ask your coach. Ask in the team page. Show up. Lean in. It's a fantastic lesson that Kristen shared with us. So you're never alone on this team. And if you are, you're doing it wrong. So you have to lean in and you have to ask for help and you have to want to be a part of the team because that's the real success is the friendships that you're going to make on the team. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. Thank you guys, so much.